The depths. Getting deep enough into the game, the line between world and level blurs. It no longer becomes enough to beat a level. Now you actually have to transform them and manipulate them into being able to beat this overall level presented to us. And really, the depths as a level, not too bad. I mean, obviously all I really need to do is create a skull and then somehow get rid of Baba, because Skull not facing Baba is you. Probably by turning Baba is grass. Of course, easier said than done, so let's get right onto it with cleaning service. Getting this deep into the game and you get a level name like cleaning service, you know it's going to be probably not as terrifying as they want to make it seem. So number one thing, text. Oh man, every single time you see text as a keyword, it's pretty much there's going to be some shenanigans going on here. I mean, that teleport, something like swap usually, shift, all very frightening words to see. But thankfully, being the first level of this world, not too bad, and it is pretty obvious that what you need to do is you need to make this text weak. Because that way I can just crunch that. Get that to have some good crunch in it. Bam, and then maneuver here so the skulls are weak, and that should do it for the level, I think. Although I do want to make sure that is goes out first, just so that I can have things lined up correctly. There, skull is and weak, and we done. Cleaning service complete, but of course, the fact that there is a level and a skull immediately available to see, it should be pretty obvious that this one is going to very quickly become our player character for the depths here. And yeah, you can even see. No other levels want to open up? No? Well, okay, get right back in there. Of course, the whole, everything related to kind of getting... That's going to be something more of a theme that you'll see over time here. The fact that beating the level, not too bad at all. Getting the level transformed into something else, a very, very big deal. So, number one thing is pretty much get everything working as it was before. Want to do pretty much the exact same thing. It's just after I get those skulls out of the way. I want to change it up so that... Oh, kill the is first. I want to change it up so I can get this skull over to the level here. Not really possible as of right now, but going to be very... Oh wait, no, I also need to destroy the text is, unfortunately. As much as I would like to turn the level into text, not going to be possible right now. So do the exact same thing, get that skull weak, but then, of course, since I am outside of, the normal playing area of the level, suddenly I can screw around with keywords that were, up until this point, a little bit impossible to manipulate. Making them weak? Oh, you know it. So let's just do this. No, I think I should actually kind of keep them all here, because I'm going to need that is weak out here. Weak is one of those keywords that is very effective. One of the few things effective to take out to say wall is stop. And since wall is very much available to... maybe I did actually want to have the skull is weak a little bit closer here. Ah, dang. But you can easily see what I'm doing here. The order of events is pretty obvious. Of course, this is just something a little bit of starter level, although there's not really going to be too much for new concepts being introduced at this point. We are still going to be getting some things related, like you're going to be getting a good handle on what exactly it means to be a weirdo meta level when it comes to the depths here. And there we go. The name cleaning service suddenly makes a lot more sense now. Yep, one of the few things that can get around stop. And pretty comprehensively at that. So, simple enough. Bam, and bam. Let's go. Number one thing accomplished, but that's not really going to be tremendously helpful because facing the Baba, can't move. So can't even get that key yet because as soon as I start facing that Baba, can't get out of there. And as much as I could attempt to, say, make Baba push, it's not so much being able to push the Baba, it's, that I lose control of my character the second that I'm facing it. So not gonna be helpful as of right now. And also, you might think it's like, well, can I select one of those Babas as a level like I did all the way back in the question mark world? Unfortunately, no. At least as of right now, not. I don't know why the rock and the water in the question mark world were special, but it's like for some reason it's like you were able to select those ones, even though some of these other ones are, well, obviously going to be levels eventually. Let's go. Exercise hall. More of a little gimmicky type of thing than any real, particularly difficult level. It's still a fun one. So, take a look at the left side of the screen. Yep. Ready for that level to turn right? Oh, it's horrible. And the controls don't actually change as you do this. It's just the way that you see the screen. So, it's not too bad to deal with, but it is disconcerting. Yes. Alright, just gotta get that love to be empty. There are more than a couple little gimmicky type levels that are just for fun in here. As I was talking about back in the ABC world, not everything needs to be like a super hardcore puzzle here. Sometimes it can just be kind of a fun, goofy thing, and I'm completely okay with that. Especially because the next level is Crushers. Now, Crushers, okay. You ready for, I mean, you remember how I said that there are definitely some shenanigans you can do if you are working with a text as well as a shift? Well, here they both come into play. So, good stuff. Alright, so the pretty simple gimmick here is that it's actually super trivial to beat the level. It's like, this one even more than cleaning service. It's like, you want to beat the level? Fine. It's like, it's right there. No challenge at all. No, the real thing you want to do is be able to change the level into something else. That's where the whole gimmick comes from. And as you can probably see from this makeup of like is and the weird push thing, that it is going to be a lot about, a lot of stuff about making text is weak once again. And that is going to be important. And then it's like one of the other things you might have thought of immediately here is to push stuff forward, you know, maybe get enough pieces of text there. Because the entire gimmick about this place is that you're supposed to be pushing this out of the way. You know, get it here and then get something to push upwards, but it's quite difficult to do, at least as of right now. Now, there was an actual, like, order of operations you're supposed to be doing here to get stuff out properly. Let's just do this first. Or maybe it's... No, I don't remember. Well, anyway, the big thing is that I'm going to need to eventually crush some of that text anyway so that I can get a push out of there. Or an is if I felt like it. Oh, yeah, I forgot that it's like the fact that it's on a thing. So I'm going to need that eventually, but for right now, yeah. Right. Stop making that text weak. Hey, KK, leave that text alone. All right, so the big thing with this level, and the thing that took me a long time to figure out, is that originally I was trying to figure out exactly how to get like some like the flag out of here. Not possible. To get like the belt to be shifting stuff upwards, that sort of oddities. A lot of things like that. Except the thing that you really want to do is actually reset the level, because I realized that I screwed something up. I do want to keep shift. Shift is going to be important. I do want to still get my text is weak out here. It's that this is the entire thing about this whole gimmick is that you are trying to recreate the same sort of thing that you did all the way back and lock the door. Right. Keep forgetting about that. You have a very limited amount of space to work with here, and it's like, it's tough. This is real tough. I ain't gonna sugarcoat this here. However, it's like, if you realize what you're supposed to do, if you realize that it is all about the lock the door mechanic, it becomes a lot more obvious. And what is the lock the door mechanic, you might be asking? Well, simply put, it is that if you have two objects that are shifting on top of each other, they will continue to shift each other forward in sort of a perpetual motion machine. And then even though you can't walk through here, you can at least get that weak out of the way. So how am I going to get that to happen? Well, 2 pieces of text. If I make 2 pieces of text be shift, suddenly they can do that exact thing. And this took me a really long time to figure out. So, man, it's... You know, when you actually like think about it, it's obvious. It ain't too bad at all, but it's like just the amount of time that it required for me to understand the basics of the puzzle in here is like, it was substantial, I suppose. Let's just say it like that. All right, belt is, we're gonna just do belt is text, and I'm gonna make sure that I have that push on top of here. Well, of course, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than that, because why wouldn't it? All right, and okay. 2 pieces of text on each other. Bam. That'll do it. And then all I need is for... So the idea is going to be to get to the push and belt piece of text right here, and then I'll be able to free the piece of text. And then it's going to be interesting, because I do believe this is the first time that we're going to have level is text come up here. Which, considering the amount of shenanigans that I had to go through here, and there, now I can just walk through here with impunity. Considering the amount of shenanigans you got to go through to get this level, I hope you... It's like this was a pretty exciting time. It's just undercut by the fact that it took so long to do. All right, level. So, number 1 fun thing that you might want to try out here. Bam, let's go. Well, can I just like push this in here? Yeah, whatever, that's fine then. And, oh yeah, Fireplace. One of the more recent updates put this level in here. So, Blast from the Past coming all the way back. You know what? After the weirdness that was that previous level, I guess I can appreciate this, sure. This was a not tremendously difficult level all the way back from the caverns, which I guess was difficult enough to end up in here. Ah, come on. Here, let's just do it like this then. Just hold you back. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same level as it was before, but much, much later in the game. Anyway, I'm sure as you can probably tell, that is the way that I'm going to be opening up a lot of the extra levels. Now that I have a level keyword to be used, what I can do is I can transform objects into other objects, including levels. Now, keep the cursor on me for right now. So yeah, to get rid of Baba, it's like all you gotta do is turn him into a level. Which I don't know if I would really say that's the most elegant solution to that. And I still can't push them around, but at least that opens up the key for me right here, so that I can do stuff like this. And I don't know, you know what, I opened up levels, and I've kind of made it a policy, at least as of right now, to do the extra levels as they're opened up, so why not? Alright, Forest of Fall type of area. And get some of that good Forest of Fall music. Probably my favorite track in the entire game. I think it's pretty great. Alright, so the entire thing here is that, try as I might, I can't... It's gotta be KK to get in here, because hot objects, because even if I turn KK into Baba, Baba is not hot, unfortunately, so can't really do anything to get him in there. And if I turn Baba into KK, the unfortunate bit is that I can't get it to be you at the same time. A little bit too difficult to have that happen. So I'm sure, as you might guess, the entire gimmick is that you are supposed to just get KK to be you. Because as you remember, if an object is you and move at the same time, you move 2 squares at once. So suddenly, if I can just get lined up here, bam. Unfortunately, due to the fact that Baba is moved, he's going to continue pushing that stuff over there. Not very useful. Except that you are given the ability to melt words. And in fact, it's in a very convenient position to be able to melt words. So that Baba will stop being moved very quickly right after this. A tricky level, to be sure. And there we go. A tricky level, to be sure, but if you know about the object is you and object is move, not too shabby at all to be able to get rid of it. And unfortunately, don't really have the ability to get back to that point, so just go up 1 level by selecting return to map, and then get back down into here. Alright, Skullman. You know, let's just go do the other Baba level. Like I said, I made a policy a long time ago that if I had the chance to do an extra level, I might as well do it immediately. So let's just go up here and get extra level 4 down. Give Baba a nice pink tan and call it a day, at least on those guys. So, exact same concept, except slightly, ever so slightly different. I mean, pretty much I could set up the whole, like, KK is you type of thing again. That would be easy enough to kind of have accomplished. But then I can't get Baba is you out of there. At least I can't do that immediately. I mean, it makes sense that the Baba twins down there were kind of harboring a very similar sort of level. So pretty much the way that you want to go about approaching this one is that Baba is KK is still something completely valid. And then, what you can also do is... I mean, actually, first off, even before I do that, it's like one of the other like little pieces of tech that I didn't really exploit too much in the previous thing is that I can turn KK into Baba. So we'll just do this. And then it's like, technically, if I have the ability to do so, I can just transform them back as well. As soon as I'm able to get... the objects moving around as necessary. Nope, not like that. Yeah, I mean, the entire way about, like, this secondary extra level is that what I want to do is, like, you're trying to destroy the pieces of text as they need to be destroyed. So for right now, I got 2 Babas. I'm going to eventually have to turn that into 2 KKs. But to make that work, what I need to do is make sure that KK is me at one point in time or another. Pretty much if I do it like this, that would work, but I want to make sure that I can make KK is you. The actual the actual winning condition is making sure that KK is you is what's going to happen as soon as I get rid of these Babas. Okay? And there. Lose control over that, but now all I need to do is have the move work. And there we go. A little bit tricky, but I'd like to say that if you got that previous level, I found this level actually easier than the previous level because I kind of forgot about how exactly Baba moved around. But hey, it's like, I see either of those taking a long time if you're not super clued into, like, the weirdo advanced techniques that are presented in this game. I mean, that one wasn't... I mean, the 2 very similar levels, one that required you to understand how a object is you and moving at the same time works, and one that requires you to figure out how to get an object moving when you stop existing, when the object that is you stops existing. And yet they're almost the exact same puzzle. It's a real testament to the amount of ways that you can solve any individual level in this game. I really like the combination of those two levels just for that alone. Collaborative effort. This one is actually a level that is not tremendously difficult because there are some things that you can exploit pretty easily. All right, number one thing here. I do want KK to be you. But I want to make sure that I do have to keep text as pull right now. However, I can just... As soon as I pull that out, I no longer need text to be pull, really. Which is important due to... There. That'll do it. Because the problem is that I need to kind of make sure that... Nope, not like that. Because the problem is that I need to make sure that I don't accidentally... That Baba up there is not accidentally going to pull the text, or is going to pull the U off of Baba is you to kind of, you know, destroy my entire livelihood. Alright, get over there, Baba. Just need to use text as pull in a nice salvage type of scenario, if you remember that level. In fact, I don't even need the second Baba. Get out of here. If you remember the salvage scenario all the way back in the deep forest. Same basic concept here. Bam. And then I feel like this is probably not the intended way of doing this. That you're supposed to actually use the skull is sync in one way or another, but why not just do this? It's like, Dekari, he gave me the ability. Then with text no longer pull. Yeah, so I think that what you're actually supposed to do is like get one of the Babas over on the left side onto this as soon as it's sync. Then when like text, because like, you know, the whole text thing, when you push the text over here, if text is defeat, then that Baba's going to be defeated. So what you actually want to do is have Baba over here and then use the pull text. And then you use one of the Babas as a sacrificial lamb, Hapuns, and then put them onto this, this skull here. But the way I did it was much easier. So let's go. Take that, Baba is you. Exploitations every day of the week. And much like the exercise hall, this is more of a little bit of a gimmicky level than anything else. As you can see in the middle of the screen, level is you. So, kind of going to be screwing around with that to make sure that I can actually see what I'm doing here. While the level's doing its own thing. Alright, simple gimmick, because there, can get rid of that. And then let's kind of get everything back in the middle of the screen once more. And actually, let's just do that, so I can make it stop, like, wiggling around all the time. Beating the level, and then making level into me, both fairly simple. Obviously, the entire thing with making level into me has nothing to do with actually using the me object. It just makes it so that my skull friend will be able to go through this area and grab the grass, a text keyword when the time comes. That said, just a goofy... I mean, it is actually possible to get level to be you in other levels. I think all the way back in Hostile Environment. Whatever the level that you had to turn Baba in on the OG world map. But it was possible to make level as you, but this is probably the most prominent usage of it. All right, let's just cut that out right now. And get this over here. And there. Simple gimmick, but, you know, also kind of a fun one. All right, Baba. Prepare yourself, for we all return to Earth one day. It's just going to be a little bit sooner for you than anything else. Boy, that is hideous. To see them pink in that way. All right, anyway. Let's finish this up, but of course, I'm sure you already realize what the other gimmickry here is going to be. The level's just called Orb. Well, take a guess at what I'm getting here. Not the most complicated of levels. I like the setup, though. Looks very... regal. And there we go. That's orb number 2. And there's really nothing else to do in this level. I mean, it might seem suspicious that it's that simple, but I'm not going to complain. Woo! And now, question mark, question mark, question mark is properly done. And if I need to get out of here, I have another little easy exit route as well. And there we go. Or an easy entrance route into the depths if I so felt like it. And actually, something that I never showed off is that if you go all the way back to the world map, there is an easy entrance to the depths here as well. Can go all the way up to the upper left corner. I mean, not that it's really all that necessary. I have everything kind of completed in this world alone, but... And the level I was thinking of was Fragile Existence that I was talking about. Because what you can do is by doing a little shimmy shake, turning Key into you and then making Baba is Key, you can sort of get you up here and then make level as you. Doesn't do anything, but it's a fun little concept anyway. Alright, let's get all the way back into the depths. Because, of course, naturally, that is only one step of several right now. And what do I mean by that? I mean, bam. What does level as push mean? Yeah. It is goofy to just push around levels in that way, but hey, I'm not going to say it's ineffective. Priority lane. This is an interesting concept. It's actually a much simpler level than it looks like. The big gimmick here is that, just kind of push that down once. So pretty much as soon as I push this down here, even if belt is shift, bam, and then, nope, doesn't work that way. And there was a lot of different things that I was kind of trying out. If I got like belt and box is KK, or like belt is box, or something like that, was the way that I was originally trying to do it, was the way that I was originally trying to make stuff happen. It's the hint for what you're actually supposed to do in the level is in the level name, Priority Lane. It's like you might think that you're going fast, but have you ever tried to go shift and shift? And actually, I should make this a little bit easier on myself here. Just kind of like do it like this. Yeah, that should do it. Make belt as push so it actually pushes downwards. Okay. Yeah, because this is the first time that you are going to encounter this, and probably going to be the last time, because it is a super goofy nonsense type of thing. So belt is shift and shift. Well, it shifts you twice at once, so that you effectively create your own priority lane. Yeah, this concept does not come up in any other level. It is super goofy and nonsense, but at the same time, it is clever. It's a clever little usage of the keyword in that way. It is also like, how was I supposed to know that? Which is why the level is so simple and easy to kind of understand, you know? All right, push the overworld out of the way, push that out of the way, because I do believe you know what's about to be coming here. It's like this game ain't over yet. It's never gonna be over. There's so many things left to do, so many weird nonsense things to exploit. The fact that I have yet to get the area complete on the depths. The way that there's just this mysterious is over here. Nope, all leading up to you. Endless corridor. Going back to playing La Mulan, I guess. All right, concept is pretty easy. You can see on the upper, you can see in the upper right, we got the skull being pole and the rock being you down in the upper left, so that I can go over so many times. But then the second that I try to go down here too much, flag no longer becomes win. So if you guessed that this was going to be another dungeon puzzle where I was made to look like I was an idiot for not realizing how to do it properly, but then as it actually turns out, it was a super useful sort of tactic. No points. Because of course. Dungeon puzzle is just so incredibly... Like, that stuff that I learned during that dungeon puzzle remains just so incredibly useful. So here's the thing with this. I can push left... At the very... Actually, let's go back to the start here so that I can make it a full... Alright, so KK is you, Baba is you. That seems like the most obvious thing. And then at the very start here, although I can't go backwards due to the whole... I can't make the rock go backwards due to the whole skull is pull, and pull is a stop, an object that stops you. You can only go forward so much before it'll get into the position where it can go downwards to actually get rid of the flag as win condition. And before I do that, I want KK to get out in front of me, because at this point in time, I still have the ability to go up and down infinitely. And now I can only go down 3 squares, or up as much as I want, but that's not nearly as useful. I'm gonna get KK way over to the left here to kind of get him in position for me to do... Actually, I don't want him fully over to the left. 1 square away from that. Or actually, I want him even farther than that, but that's not too possible. Alright, so. Number one thing. I can only go down 3 spaces. So I have like here, here, and here to work with. If I kind of stay in these 3 areas, then I'll be safe. If I go down any farther, that's bad. If I go up any farther, that's not really bad, but it also doesn't really help me at all because nothing's up there. So pretty much what I gotta do is I gotta manipulate this whole KK is thing. And there, we'll do that. And then we'll do that to get him in position. Actually, push this over. And then when I push here, KK is me. KK goes down 1. KK goes over 1. And then go over here. Reset. And there you go. It's like pretty much the entire thing is realizing that you want to make KK go down without accidentally going down too many spaces, and I went up 1 more than I needed to. Because I can only work in these 3, like, you can kind of like see it across the screen. I can go left and right as much as I want. Left and right as much as I want. However, I can only go down 3 spaces. And this space, and this space is the only ones that I want to be touching right now in any way. No, actually, all I need to do is I need to get this here. Because then, now KK is me, go down 1, push it, and down, push it. Nope, went up too far. Well, that's not really all that necessary, but whatever. Down, and that'll do it. A kind of tough level if you weren't going at... I mean, it's such a simple level, but it's also a difficult level. And anyway, that's actually the depths. It's pretty much everything you're going to be seeing here, because that's every single one of the worlds, except for there's one more thing that was opened up. Meta. Because it wasn't meta enough at this point. See you next time for the absolute final world in the game, the grand finale, Meta.